Welcome to the Directors Club podcast, your go-to resource for childcare center owners and directors seeking success at their centers. Each week, we dive into the world of childcare management, sharing valuable tips, tools, resources, and strategies to help you build enrollment, retain top teachers, and streamline your operations. With a casual and lighthearted approach, we tackle the challenges you face from staffing and enrollment to business skills and time management. Join us as we unlock the secrets to creating a thriving childcare center. Let's laugh, learn, and grow together. This is the Directors Club podcast. Welcome to the Directors Club podcast, your go-to resource for childcare center owners and directors seeking success at their centers. Each week, we dive into the world of childcare management, sharing valuable tips, tools, resources, and strategies to help you build enrollment, retain top teachers, and streamline your operations. With a casual and lighthearted approach, we tackle the challenges you face from staffing and enrollment to business skills and time management. Join us as we unlock the secrets to creating a thriving childcare center. Let's laugh, learn, and grow together. This is the Directors Club podcast. Hey there, it's Noelle from the Directors Club. And today we're talking about something that's not fun to talk about, but needs to be addressed. Finances. When I opened up my childcare center, I was very well versed in finance because my job before that for 13 years, I was a chief of staff at a corporate division for a bank. And that's where I learned it. I had a finance team, and my boss taught me so much about reading financials, understanding them, budgeting, all the things. And then I got into early ed, so I felt confident in it. But I started meeting other directors, and we had these conversations, and you got to learn that, finance is not taught well enough in our field. So I went back to college at one point because I wanted to get my degree in early ed, and I wanted to get licensed as a director. I did that, and I took the 2 director courses, and we spent a chapter on finance. And what ended up happening was, just shut my phone off if you heard it keep dinging in the background, driving me nuts. So when I went to this course, we did a chapter on finance, and then that was it. The budget was like 5 line items. And then you graduate and you end up becoming a director of a 39 student center, or say even 75 or 100, and you've only had a chapter of finance. I felt like I came in with a lot of knowledge with finance, and I still didn't know enough to run my budget. I met Marcus Lemos on a marketing call, and I got lucky enough for him to pick me to ask a question. And I said to him, what can I do as a small business owner to really get well-versed in finance? What college courses should I take? And he said to me, do you ever heard of the college YouTube? I was like, I know what YouTube is. He said, go on YouTube and find some reputable companies or people that are sharing information about finance and just dig into all of that. And let me tell you, I learned a lot. Today, I want to share with you all about some aspects of understanding the financial side of running your childcare center, because it is fatally crucial for long-term success. I want to guide you through some key financial considerations that will help you operate your center efficiently and sustainably. This podcast is for every director, whether you're the newbie that doesn't know a lot about finance or you've been doing it for years. Always good to refresh your skills on finance. The first thing I want to point out is the budget for success. The foundation of your financial success in any business, whether it's childcare or you own a fabric store, is a well thought out budget. Begin by creating a detailed budget that covers all aspects of your center's operation. This should include all the expenses that you have, and the expenses are things like your rent or mortgage, salaries, utilities, supplies, insurance, maintenance costs, things like that. And then also look at your revenue. How much tuition are you earning? You can build a financial budget with any of the online platforms like QuickBooks or something like that. You can go to your CPA or your tax preparer and ask them. And you're going to build out a budget and kind of look at where you're at. And it's one of the key things I tell you to look at when you are getting ready to raise tuition, because you can't post in a Facebook group, well, what's the tuition going to be? How much are you going up? Because it doesn't matter. Your budget is what drives that number. The second piece is enrollment and revenue projections. Estimating expected enrollment. I want you to even think about when you're building this, what's so crucial that your budget. So you're not going to plan, if you know you're going to drop in numbers in the summer, you're not going to project full tuition in the summer, right? So you need to estimate. That means that you sit there and realistically look at how much things are. Now, summers are tough in childcare because a lot of our teachers are taking vacation time. We're paying them, we're paying the coverage, we're also maybe giving discounts to families for vacation time, and you might also have less children enrollment because of the summer. So I want to take all that into account as you build a revenue projection of what you think your enrollment is going to look like. The third thing, and I already mentioned it, is pricing structure. While we need to set competitive pricing for our childcare, keep in mind that the local market rates and your center's features are unique. Ensure that your pricing covers your expenses. So that's why we want to do a budget, look at the revenue projections, what we think our expenses are going to be, and really look at the shortfall, because that's going to help you determine your pricing structure. Now, consider offering other things, like maybe drop-in care, or you could offer special summer programs to beef up that revenue. The next thing is financial management. You need to establish a great financial management system from the start. This includes maintaining accurate records of income and expenses, tracking enrollment and attendance, and creating systems for invoicing and receiving payments from your customers. Consider using an accounting software or hiring a professional bookkeeper or accountant to assist with financial tracking. And you definitely need someone great for tax preparation. Funding sources is our next topic. So you can explore potential funding sources such as grants, loans, or subsidies that may be available to support your childcare center. Research government programs or local initiatives that could provide financial support to early education. Two things. I did a podcast on the SBA loan and lending. I had to dig into that because our building is for sale and we're not moving, but we almost did have to move. And I had to figure out where we were getting all the money to do this. And I had a great meeting with the SBA and a local SBA lender. Even if you're like, don't think you want a loan or you're curious about it, they were so great to meet with me. We sat down and they answered all my questions and talked about the process. There are things that you don't even know that you have available to you. Check that out. Also, when you're thinking about your finances, if you're getting a grant for any reason, like in Massachusetts right now, we are getting grants every month. You can't count on your budget, because the next time there's an election, if that governor goes and they want to drop this money, that they could. So make sure that you're not banking all of that money coming in, any grants that you're getting or subsidies. All right, another big topic to talk about is staffing costs. Your staff is the backbone of the center, as we know. And while it's essential to provide competitive salaries and benefits to attract and retain qualified staff, it's also crucial to manage staffing costs efficiently. One thing that you need to think about is really watching the schedule. Make sure that your team is leaving on time every day. I used to have a teacher, I'll never forget it. She had 2.5 hours of overtime every week. And I was like, what is happening? And so I thought the first week was just like coverage. And then the second week it happened. And I went to my sister and I'm like, why is this happening? I don't understand why she has 2.5 hours. Come to find out, she would leave every day at 3 and spend a half hour walking around the center saying goodbye to everybody and got paid overtime one week. for that. So just watch your staffing costs. The next topic in finance is emergency funds. You always have to prepare for the unexpected expenses by setting aside a little bit of money. And this safety net can help you cover unforeseen costs like equipment repairs or unexpected staff leaves and anything else. Like even a flood could affect your budget. If you don't have the extra funds right now, and I know that's hard, there's a great book called Profit First, and I cannot think of the author. Michael, I think his name is. I'll put a link to it, an Amazon link to it in the show notes. So look there. That's a great a great book, because it talks about taking some of the money, and clearly you have to pay your expenses, but it helps you allocate things. The next thing is marketing and promotion. So invest some time in marketing and promotion strategies to attract new families to your childcare center. You don't always have to spend a ton on it either, but effective marketing can lead to increased enrollment, which directly impacts your revenue, utilizing both online and offline marketing channels to reach your customers. Now, with social media, it's really inexpensive to reach out to families. So share a great story on your Facebook page. Don't be sharing, oh, we need enrollment. Share the great things going on there. Sell the center. Make parents, when they see that Facebook post, you're like, oh, I want my child to go there. I want my child to experience that. If you go through my podcast, there are quite a few in here about building enrollment. And I just did one on consistency. And that one right there builds word of mouth marketing. All right. Continuous evaluation and adjustments is my final topic on finance. It's so important. You can set a budget, but if you don't look at it, what was the point? Regularly review your financial performance and budget. Be willing to adjust your strategies based on actual results and changing market conditions. When we look at these things, it really helps us to adapt and thrive in the long run. Like, for example, if you're not familiar with these reports, or you don't know how to read profit and loss, or you don't know how to read balance sheets, or you don't understand any of this stuff, not a problem. You can meet with an accountant and talk to them about it. Like I said, YouTube videos. You can join the Directors Club because I'm very versed in it. And I help our members frequently answer questions or come up with game plans. Really look at it and say, okay, why are we spending X amount of money in this section? And if you set your budget, like, for example, I didn't in the beginning when we first opened, I knew that we were spending about, I think it was around $1,200 a month on paper products. And I have a big center. And we were spending that kind of money, nothing of it, put it in my budget, watched it all the time, always hit $1,200 or right around that amount every month. But I was watching a show, and it was a business show, and someone was getting interviewed about money and like keeping cash reserves. And the man said, if you buy once a month for your business, you could be overspending. And I was like, that's interesting. And he said, stop keeping your cash in the closet, keep it in the bank. Like the next day I went into the center and I walked around and I couldn't believe it, but I can't remember the number now, but say I ordered 8 cases of paper towels for them. I go in the closet and there was like double that. Because what happens is some months we use 8, some months we use 7, some months we use 6, then we use 9. There were all these things that were variables and things were changing. Even in the summer, I was spending all that money. And so what I decided to do is I reached out to all the vendors that I used and I said, okay, if I order from you twice a month or 3 times a month, what's the cost going to be on delivery? And almost everybody said there is no cost on delivery. So I was like, why am I giving them all my cash at the beginning of the month? So I stopped doing that. And what we do is every Friday, we end up, someone's in charge, the office manager. She walks around with this checklist and she's okay. We need to make sure that we have at least 1 paper towel roll for every classroom for next week. And so that we have 9 classrooms. So we have to have at minimum of 11, we say, paper towel rolls in the closet because of the bathrooms and all that stuff. And guess what? The price went down. We ended up saving ourselves in a whole year thousands of dollars because we didn't just do it on that. We were going on like buying ink, buying paper, like all the things. And yes, we do use all that, but we don't use it in bulk And as we just talked about, continuous evaluation and making adjustments is when you learn something new, or you're looking at your financial performance and you're like, why are the paper products going up? Or how come salary's doing this? Really look at it, evaluate, try a few different things, make adjustments, and see what you can do. And if you're stuck with, I don't know what to do, I'm always short on the budget every month, that's when you need to talk to a professional and to maybe talk to an accountant, or if you're in a group, a mastermind or something, talk about that. This is where I'm struggling. Because if you want to dig deeper into these things, it's so important because you're only going to benefit from it. So again, today we just talked about a bunch of different things. This is just an overview of all the different things we need to do as directors. So we need to budget, do revenue projections, really look at our pricing structure, and always making sure that if your revenues less your expenses is shortfall, that's a minimum of what you need to increase your prices by. Financial management, so really having good systems and good processes in place. You don't want to get to tax time and be stress mess, right? Funding sources, so check out the SBA or your local lender. I think the SBA is a really good resource. Again, don't forget that podcast that I have. Staffing costs, like really watching. I know that we're paying what we're paying, but watching time, watching OT, all those things. Trying to work towards an emergency fund, and check out that book, The Profit First. Really spending some time making sure you're consistent with your marketing and promotion. Even if you're full, you never want to be without a waiting list. Or if one person says they're going to leave your center and you want to make sure that you get someone ready to go to jump right in that spot, because even that's going to hurt your budget if you lose some customers and then you have to gain some back. And then lastly, what we just dug into was continuous evaluation and adjustments. Managing the finance of a childcare center is a critical aspect of ensuring its sustainability and success. And by creating a comprehensive budget and doing all these things for your childcare center, you are going to build a strong foundation. And remember, financial success takes time, dedication, and continuous effort. But with the right strategies in place, you can provide quality early education while running a financially stable center. Best of luck on your journey, and head to my website, because I just thought of this while I read that. I have a class called Financially Stable Childcare Centers. I didn't even realize that when I wrote this podcast. Head into the store on my website. And it comes with a workbook and 3 podcasts you can listen to. And I walk through all the different tips. But good luck with this process. I really hated finance before. I wasn't a fan of it. But lately, the last, 5 or 6 years, I really spend some time educating myself more, and it gets easier as you learn it. I hope you have a great day, and I can't wait to connect with you soon. Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of the Directors Club. We hope you found tips, tools, and strategies valuable for your childcare center. To access even more resources and take your center to new heights, visit our website at thedirectorsclub.net. There you'll find a wealth of exclusive content, training programs, and support tailored specifically to childcare center owners and directors. Don't miss out on this opportunity to unlock your center's full potential. Remember, success starts here at the Directors Club. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of the Directors Club. We hope you found tips, tools, and strategies valuable for your childcare center. To access even more resources and take your center to new heights, visit our website at thedirectorsclub.net. There you'll find a wealth of exclusive content, training programs, and support tailored specifically to childcare center owners and directors. Don't miss out on this opportunity to unlock your center's full potential. Remember, success starts here at the Directors Club.